Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to explain you that how you can generate clinical reports using SAS and especially Proc report. So in today's video I'm going to explain you a medical history listing report. So as you can see on the screen, this is how the listing is, okay, and we need to generate a listing like this only. This is an mock shell. So let's go to our SAS studio and this is our output data set. So you can see the output data set is having 6 columns, okay, and these 2 columns I have created for page break that I'll explain you later on. This is how you can generate a simple report. So first you need to write ODS RTF file, because whichever report you are generating, if you want to export that report on your computer or on server, you have to write ODS RTF file. ODS means output delivery system, RTF means rich text format. RTF is an extension for Word file, okay? Then you need to select a path where your report should be generated. Like any folder you can select and take the path, okay? After selecting the path, you need to give the file name, okay? Let's suppose I'm generating an listing. So there should be some name given to it, right? Any file should have some name. So I'm giving the name mhlisting1. And .rtf, because after dot I'm giving the extension of that file. You know, each of the file is having extension. Let's suppose a PDF file will have an extension of PDF, right? And after that I'm closing it. Now whenever you have to generate a simple report, you need to write proc report data and you need to select your final data. So I'm selecting my data ADAM3 using what we gonna generate the report, and then you need to select the columns. Let's suppose your final data ADAM3 can have more than 6 columns or 6 variables. You can see apart from col1 to col6, there are some more variables, row and PG as well. But if you want to select col1 to col6, you can simply give col1 to col6. Or you can specify the variable names which you want in the report, okay? The column here is simply used to select the variables you want in the report or the columns you want in the report. I think this is clear to everyone. Now you have to define each of the column, okay? So what does it mean by defining? Defining means, let's suppose in your data set ADAM3, okay, the first column name you have given column 1, okay, but in the mock shell you can see the column name is this: subject ID, age, gender, race. This is the column name. So after define and after the column name, after /, you have to give the name which you want in the report, okay? So I'm giving subject ID / ID, gender, race as per the mock shell, okay? So what it will do, even though in the data set the name is col1, but the display name in the report the column name will be shown this only, okay? Same we have done for col2, col3, col4, col5, col6. As you can see, these names we need to give. This is the mock shell, like this only you need to generate a report. So we have given the names. After that we are running and finally ODS RTF close, okay, because these much variables or these much things we want in our report. So finally you need to close your report. Output delivery system, rich text file, and close. So let's run this. This is the report which is showing in the result window, but the actual report you have exported at a path. So let me open that. So I have given the path of here, okay, this file, and the listing name is list1. So let me open the list1 listing. So this is how a simple report is looking like. But if you see your mock shell, the way you need to generate a report, so that is like this. It is having title as well, footnote as well, and even this column name is coming in different ways. So does your report is looking like that? No, it's not having title, footnotes, even these names are not coming properly, variable names. So guys, right now I have shown you the basics of report only, like how you can generate a simple report and you can export it, okay? Now we're gonna modify our report. Now in the report too, what we're gonna do, we're gonna select the style of the report so that we can remove the default column and row lines and keeping row lines only in header. So you can see in the in the report you have generated, by default, whenever you are generating a report through SAS, it's gonna keep the column and row lines. Can you see this column lines which is separating each of the columns and the row lines which is separating each of the rows? But if you see in the mock shell, here in the mock shell, there is no column lines. Okay, even the row lines are there. That is also for header only, not for the data. So for this, guys, what you need to do, you need to give a style to your report. So we are giving style equal to journal. So you can give multiple styles to your report as per the requirement. So if you give style equal to journal, what that will do, that will actually remove these lines. Okay, it will keep the lines, rows only in the header. Rest of the lines and rows will be removed if you give style equal to journal. So simply you are changing the way you want your report. So the journal is the way which is matching our requirement, not having column and rows. On top of that, the second thing we are doing here, we are splitting the column name into different rows. So as you can see in the mock shell, this column names, it is coming in different rows: subject ID, age, gender, race, start date, and date, ongoing, clinical, and significant. You can see these are coming in different rows. But the report you have generated, some of the column names are coming as it is, like the way we want, but some of the column names not coming properly. So this is the column names generated by default by SAS. This is not the way you wanted, right? Like the start date should come here and the end date should come in the next row. So you can split it. You can tell SAS to split the column names. So how you can do that? Now you know ODS RTF file already. You need to give the path here and the file name. Okay, and here you have selected the style so that you can remove the rows and columns. Now here in Proc report, while selecting the data set name, you are writing split equal to asterisk. You are telling SAS, in the report I am going to split the column names, and for splitting I am going to use this special character, asterisk symbol. Now what you have done, after selecting your columns, okay, variables, at the time of defining your variables, when you have told SAS, for column 1 I want this name in the report. So wherever you want to split, let's suppose while giving the name, after subject ID and / you want to split, because in the mock shell you can see after subject ID and / you have to split the name. So the same name should come in the next row. Not the same name means that column name should continue from the next row. So you are giving asterisk symbol here. So after subject ID and / it will split and ID will come in the next row. So ID and / gonna come in the next row, and again you are splitting /. So whenever you give asterisk symbol, it's gonna split the names. Okay, it's gonna give the same column name, means the column name, this whole is a column name only, but if you want in different rows some part of this string, you can give it. So in the names you don't want to split, you can keep as it is, and wherever, as you know, in the start date and date you wanted a split, you can see here in the first row you wanted start date, and here you wanted end date. So after start date, what are we gonna do? We're gonna give this asterisk symbol. So this gonna split it. Same goes to clinically significant, because we don't want in a single row. After clinically, the significant should come in the next row. So you can see clinically is in here and significant is in next row. And guys, here these are annotated name, like how you can call this variable ADMH, AENDT, ADMH, MN, ERF. So don't confuse this with the column names. Column names are these ones. These are annotations, like to create this column from which data set, which variable you should call. This is given here. Okay. Now after running, we gonna write ODS RTF close that this much these much variables and data we want in our report. So finally we're gonna run it. So here you are getting the result with, you can see The start date is coming in separate row, end date is coming in separate row, clinically is coming in separate row, significant, okay, and subject ID, age, gender, race, all these things are coming properly. But you can see these lines are present here, right? You don't want these lines as per the mock shell. So once you gonna open the report, because you have told SAS to export your report here at this path. So the report name, you have given MH listing 2. So let me download this MH listing 2 and open this file. Now you are not having this column, lines and rows inside your data. Only you are getting rows, that too in the header. Okay, because in the header we have to keep as per our mock shell we are keeping. But here, from here, the lines and row went. You can see earlier it was there like this. What as per your code, the style journal, the style you are giving here, that is controlling this. That is removing this row lines and column lines and removing this, from the header part, this background, grayish background is coming, right? So that style is taking care of that. And this split is taking care that in which row the column names you want. Like let's suppose after subject ID and / if you want a split, you give asterisk symbol. After clinically you want to split the significant into next row, you can split it. So guys, I hope the style equal to journal and the split is clear to you. So these two things we have done in the report too. Actually, these all things needed to be done in a single report, but I am showing you step by step, getting closer to this mock shell. Okay, because this is the actual mock shell, the way you need to generate. This is the third time we're gonna generate this report. And this time what are we gonna do? We're gonna change the orientation to landscape. Right now, our reports, you can see as per the mock shell, this is horizontal, or you can say kind of landscape type report. But the report we are getting, that is vertical. Can you see this? So we need to change it. You need to change this. So how you can change this? You need to change the orientation. So we need to change the orientation to landscape, page size to A4, and keeping the margins top, bottom, left, right to 1 inch. As per the study protocol mock shell page number 4. Let's suppose whenever you are working on any of the study, how you'll get to know that you need to keep in landscape or page size A4, or what margins you need to keep. So if you see in your mock shell, in the beginning itself this will be written. You can see here, page layout should be landscape, page size 8.5 to 11. So this is nothing but the same size which is mentioned here, A4, right, in the code. A4 is nothing but this only, this size. So you can see in your mock shell only in the beginning, these things are written, like the margin for top, bottom, left, right should be 1 inch, and for header and footer should be also 1 inch. This thing you're gonna do. So instead of explaining all the points together, let me do it one by one for you. See, the orientation here we have written, we need to change it to landscape, right? So here we are writing option orientation equal to landscape. I'm going to show you as well after running this report that our orientation got changed from vertical to horizontal. Paper type equal to A4. Okay, as you can see in our mock shell it was mentioned. The paper size we should keep this one. This one is nothing but A4. So how this paper type gonna help you? Like it is like whenever someone gonna print this, so it will be printed in A4 size. Then top margin, bottom margin, left margin, right margin, we have kept 1, and we have removed no date and no number. We don't want date and number. So this margin, what does it do, guys? Let's suppose it gonna keep, if you give top margin 5, so from top it will keep your report down 5. Okay, and same from bottom, left, right. For an example, if I have to show you, let's suppose the left margin 4. Okay, and before running this, I was facing this issue. You should read this. I have written here everything. Changes in the option statement will not be executed at the first time when you are gonna run your code, but it will get executed in the second time when you're gonna run your code due to some limitation in SAS Studio. So what I found, guys, if I'm making these changes, okay, the left margin I'm giving 4. So the changes, sometimes it won't implement at the first attempt. But for sure, when you're going to run your report, run the same code for the second time, it's going to get implemented. And is it happening in SAS Easy as well? No, it's not happening in SAS Easy, but in SAS Studio, for sure, this is happening. So you can see, I have run one time only, right? So I have given, I think, which margin? Let me check. Left margin. Okay. So left margin, from the left hand side, it should go to right hand side. Okay. But, in the first time I have run, it is not showing the changes. So what I'm gonna do, the same code, I'm gonna run it for the second time. And again, I'm gonna re-download this MH listing 3. You can see the name also got updated, MH listing 3.1. So can you see, because we have increased the margin from left hand side, so you can see in the left hand side a lot of spaces are coming. Can you see here? So same margin, the same way margin is, right? If you're gonna give one margin, so it's gonna keep one margin. The space from the end of the page, from the left hand side, top hand side, bottom side and right hand side. Okay. So the more margin you're gonna give, the more space it's gonna keep it on that side. Okay, I hope this is clear to everyone. Now, and right now I have shown you the example. I'm not sure why this is happening, but when you are running your code for the second time, then you are getting the changes you have done in the report, especially for the options. And no date, no number, because you don't want the date and number. So what it will do, you can see, you are not getting the date, default date. So here you are getting the date and page number, that is different one, because we have mentioned here in the title. Okay, but the default date, let me show you the default date which we were getting earlier, that we are not getting. Let me show you in the first listing. Okay, so this is the default date and page number, this you are getting earlier. But right now we want the date and number, but in a different way. In the title we want. I'm gonna explain you this title part as well. But first I was trying to explain you these options. The orientation, paper type, top margin, bottom margin, left, right, no date and no number. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. I'll explain this as well. ODS escape character as well. Before this, let's go to the second thing, that is removing the date and page number that we have covered. Heading, title and footnote and their font size as per the mock shell page number 4. So what is the font and what should be the font size, that is also mentioned in page number 4. You can see here the standard font size and font type is 9 point. So the size should be 9 point and the font type should be career new. Okay, for all the table listing and figures. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create the titles. So what title you need to give? So you can see there are total 6 titles. So in the left hand side the title is study code XXXYYY. In the right hand side the title is, this is the first title. So first title is divided in 2 ways. You can see left hand side title and right hand side title. So let's give this title, the first title. First we're gonna give the left one and then the right one at the same time. So you are writing here title 1, the first title. What should be the font of the title? That is career new and height should be 9 pt. So this font and height that you got from your mock shell, as you know, it was mentioned in the beginning itself. Here it is. The type should be career new and the font size should be 9. That is 9.9 pt. Then J equal to L. J is nothing but you are justifying that this title you are giving, where should it come? In the left hand side or right hand side or center. You can keep your titles left or right or in the center of your report. So this title you have written L. L is nothing but left. So what do you want at the left hand side? Study code and XXXYYY. You can see in the mock shell. Study code XXXYYY. And in the right hand side you want private and confidential. So J equal to right in the title 1 only. In the right hand side, we want private and confidential. And finally, we have closed the first title. Now, in the second title, okay, statistical analysis plan we want at the left hand side. So you can see J equal to L, statistical analysis plan, and in the right hand side, date, and here you are calling a macro, sysdate. So it will call simply the system date. So you can see statistical analysis plan in the left hand side, in the right hand side, date should be written, and it should automatically call the date because we are using macro. So the system date should be called sysdate. And again for title 2 as well, you are giving the font. Again, the font I have shown you just minutes back that it is given in our mock shell only. Okay, what font should be kept and what should be the height is nothing but the size of your font, the title you are giving. So title 2 is also clear. Let's go to title 3. This is the title 3 final version 1.0 you want in the left hand side. So again for title 3 also we are giving the font, same font and same size. So you can control if you want different font and size for your titles. But here we want same. So we are keeping it same. So in the left hand side we want J equal to L means this title I want in the left hand side. So final version 1.0. Okay. Final version 1.0. And J equal to R. R means right hand side. So page should be written. And now here I'm gonna explain you ODS escape character. So ODS escape character allows SAS to use SAS functions in a inverted comma, in a quoted string, because see in inverted comma mostly you gonna mention letters or you can any string, it can be numbers, but you cannot mostly use functions here. Okay, because you are using a function page of. So what page of function will do, it's gonna give you the page number. This page number is 2 out of 10. So it's gonna show you the total page numbers and which is the current page number. To get that, you need to use this function page of, and this ODS escape character, it allows SAS to, in a quoted string, you can use that function. So ODS escape character, you are giving this symbol here, hyphen. You can give any symbol which makes SAS allows to use the function. So you are giving this ODS escape character and then you are giving the function page of. So it's gonna keep the page number. And again you can give any, like for splitting, here for splitting you are choosing asterisk symbol. Same way ODS escape character, instead of hyphen you can give any special character. Okay, now this was about title 3. Let's continue. So this is the fourth title. This was the first, second, third row of title. This is the fourth row, and in the fourth row listing number is there, listing 16.2.4.2. and what should be the alignment, left, right or center? It looks like center, right? So let's give title 4. So title 4, the font is the same, career new, and height is 9 pt. And J means justify, so the alignment should be center. So you are earlier you are doing left and right as per the requirement, and now your requirement is to keep in center. So you are keeping it in center, and you are giving the listing number. Okay, same goes for title 5, same goes for title 6. So title 5 is listing of medical history, the listing name, and title 6 is the population. You can see. So title 5 is the listing you are creating, listing name, and title 6 is population. Which population? Safety population. So I hope till here everyone is clear, and if you are clear, let's continue the next thing. So as per this report 3, we were changing the orientation, keeping the margins, removing the date and page number, the default one, adding title and footnote as per the mock shell. So okay, we have added title, but we need to add footnote as well. So here is the footnote. Footnote equal to J equal to L. here also you can decide where your footnote should come, left, right or center, and what should be the font of your footnote and what should be the size of your footnote. Okay, so this is related to style, cosmetic changes. So footnote, the way font, the size, and left, right or center, the alignment. And this is the footnote what you want. Okay, so you can see here, this is the footnote. Note equal M equal to male, F equal to female, cohort 1 Caucasian, cohort 2 Japanese. Okay, so this is the footnote. You are keeping the first footnote, and then the second footnote again J equal to L, because you want in the left hand side. You can see in the mock shell it is on the left hand side, neither in the center, neither in the right. And whatever footnote you want to keep, not whatever, as per the mock shell. Finally, you are writing run and you are writing ODS RTF close. Okay, you are closing the report which you want to generate. So let's run this. I think we have already run this. So if I can show you the latest one, which is having the changes. Or let me rerun this if we have made the changes. Let me check once. Margins are 1 only. Size, footnote. Okay, now let me run. Okay, we are getting here also footnote. Now let's open the report listing number 3. Again we are re-downloading. Now you can see your titles are coming. You can see this page number. So this page number is 1 out of 6. There are total 6 page number and it is showing page number. Here only you have used that ODS escape function, which allowed SAS to use that function page off, and that page off allowed here to get the page number, current page number and out of total page number, and these are the title. And here to call the date, you have used a macro sysdate. So after date you are getting the system date. So the date I'm running this report, I'm getting here. So all the titles you can see it's coming correctly, even the footnote. But still a lot of things needs to be done, like this the column name, it's coming in italic way, it's not coming properly. And this also, the data is also not coming in a proper way. So we're gonna refine this as well. Let's do. So I hope till here everyone is clear. Now in the report 4, it's not the report number 4, but I have just broken down. So it's not report number 4, it's the same report ultimately you have to generate. But to explain you, I'm explaining in steps, right? Report number 1 with some changes, report number 2 with more changes, report number 3 with some more changes, and finally the report number 4 with all the changes. So I think still we are not making all the changes here. Let's see. Let's continue. So here what you gonna do? You gonna change the style of your report header column. Okay, like what do you want to change? So type, size, width, cell spacing. So you can see right now the report we have generated, this one, this is coming italic, but you want career new for this header as well and for this column as well. So you're gonna control all those things. How you gonna control? Let me show you. So first you are writing style report. So the report you want, for that report the width should be 100%. So right now this report you are getting, this is not the final report actually. This is the one where we have done the increase the left margin. Let me show you the latest report and then this one. I think we need to rerun it. Just give me a minute. I think I need to rerun it. Just allow me for a minute. Still we are getting this left margin space. Let me resolve it. Just give me a minute. Option orientation, landscape. top margin, bottom margin, left margin, everything is fine. Let me change the listing number 4. Let me ensure everything is getting selected. Fine. Now let me open the latest listing number 4, where it is. Okay, I was opening previous listings, that's why we were not getting the changes. Okay, so this is your report. So this was your last report. Now, whatever I was about to show you, let me go here. This was your last report. So I was about to show you what if you're gonna give the cell width. So it's gonna increase the width, the spread of your data. Okay, width of the cell. Earlier it was less. I'm gonna show you by running this. Let me give the name 5. This is how your report is looking like. Okay, so if you compare this one with the previous one, this is not the one. Listing number 4. So you can see this report and this one. So this is spread properly. The width is more actually, because we have made it the report which should be 100%. So if you just compare this report with this one, this is spread properly. Okay. Now the difference might be visible here as well. If I'll show you by running previous report, just see here in the result window, this one, it might be visible here. Let's see, you can see this one, it is coming in the cell. You can see there are more space in each of this cell. The spaces are more. If you just compare, you can see this space, right? After cohort dose, still you are having these spaces. But if you run the previous one, and the same difference will be in the output report as well. If you see this one, no space, right, between the cell. So that because you are increasing the cell width to 100% for a report. So you are giving style. You can give style for each of the thing. Then you are giving style for header. Style for header means how do you want your header to look like. Okay. So we are giving the alignment of left. We want this header should be present in the left hand side. All the column names should be present in the left hand side. So we are giving just equal to left, or you can give L as well. V just equal to top. So this mark shell names, it should come at the top. It can come at the bottom. Okay, it can come in the center, and it can come in the top as well. So this both V just and just both works on alignment, but just work using just or J, you can control the alignment left, right or center, and using V just you can control top and bottom, the vertical axis alignment. Okay, so we want our column name should be coming at the top. So this report I have already run. I can show you. You can see if the column name is alone, it's coming at the top because you have given top, and you can see the alignment of the column name is on left hand side top. Okay, so I hope you are clear. If you want, I can show you the changes as well. I'll make it the header alignment to right, and instead of top I'll give it bottom. Okay, I'll show you. Let me run it one time. You can see this came to bottom, right? And we have given the data. Okay, so we have made it bottom. The title name should be coming in bottom and in the right hand side. So you can see it's coming in the right hand side and in bottom as well. Let's download this. Let me check the name. The file name I have given list 5. Let me download it. Let me show you. So you can see the names are coming in bottom. and in the right hand side. If I show you the previous one, here you can see it was coming at the top hand side and the left hand side. So this is how the difference you can make. Okay, here it's bottom, you can see the title names in bottom and right hand side. Here you can see top and left hand side. So these things can be controlled using the style of header, just equal to right and v just equal to bottom. So let's correct it. We want the alignment should be left, and this one should be also this one should be top. Then font width. So we want our font, the headers to be looking bold. Okay, we want it to look bold, so we are giving bold. Font size, we are giving 9 pt as this was standard, and the font we are giving, that is Career No. Again, the font size and font, it was already given in the in the mark shell itself, you can see. Okay, you can see the standard font size and font type is 9 pt is the font size, and the font type is Career New. Now same you can give to the column as well. You can control the alignments of data which is in column. Okay, it is nothing but this thing is header, this part is header. Okay, this part is header and this part is column part. The observations are column and the variables are the header part. So you can control the alignments, type, font size, even the background colors. But we don't keep the background colors, we keep it plain white only. So we're not going to change the background colors. So style for columns, again just equal to left. You want to keep left hand side all the records, and in the left hand side top, it should come at the top, not in the center or bottom. Then padding from bottom. Padding from bottom means, let's suppose this is a cell, so your data should be pad, means from bottom it will keep margin of 4. Okay, from bottom it will keep margin of 4. Let me show you. I'll remove this and run it and I'll show you. So see, this is how, just see this second column, cohort dose. Can you see this data? Okay, cohort 2 1.5 mg kg, and you can see at the bottom no spaces are there after that kg. But if I'll keep here again, I'll keep here padding bottom equal to 4. So what will happen, I'll show you. It will keep that space. Can you see? Now there is a sudden space. Can you see this space? The space, earlier this space was not there. So padding bottom, okay, in a cell from bottom it's gonna keep 4 spaces. Okay, so now let's continue. 4 mm space. Font size, the size of the font and the font type, Career New, and again you are closing it. So this you already know, the columns you are selecting. Let me continue the other things. So we have changed the style of report, header and column. Okay, so style is nothing but the type you want, the type of font, the size of font, the width, cell spacing, padding from bottom, how much you want. Now we're gonna group it. You can see some of your data. Let me show you some of your data. Let's suppose this 102. This 102 subject is how many times? 4 times. Can you see here, guys, in the screen? 4 times. So their cohort details are also repeating, and their conditions are also repeating. But let's suppose you don't want the same subject ID names to repeat. You want to group it, and same for cohort. So you can group it. 242 row, I'll explain you later, guys. Let me explain this one. The column 1, which is subject ID, and column 2, which is cohort and rows. Because here you can see the data, cohort and dose, the data is repeating, right, for each of the subject, if the subject is repeating. So you want, if the subject name is repeating, it should come at one time only, and even their cohort dose number should come at one time. It should not repeat. As you can see in the latest report, if the same subject is there, in the latest report, their subject ID is coming one time and their cohort dose detail is also coming one time, and their conditions, same patient can have different medical conditions, right, in the past. So their medical conditions and the start date and date, all those details are coming. So you have grouped the same detail for the same subject. Okay, so if the subject ID is same, so you can group their details. So we have grouped these two details. The subject ID number should come one time if same subject is there, and their cohort and dose detail as well should come one time. So after running this, it will group. Earlier it was like this, but after that it will group the details. For each of the subject, you can see wherever it will be repeating, you can see here for 111 subject, okay, 2 medical conditions were there, and you can see that for the second time, subject ID detail and cohort dose detail is not coming. Same for other subject. You can see 156 subject ID. For him, multiple medical condition was there, but the cohort and subject detail we have grouped. How we have grouped? Using group. Okay. So I hope this is clear to everyone. And after that, you can see here the second step we have written, grouping variable data which was repeating. You can group it. Splitting the pages. So guys, earlier this mock shell, how many records should come in one page, it is not controlled by you. By default, it was doing it. So how many record one should keep here, it is by default by the system. You are unable to control, but you can actually control that how many records you want in the page. Okay, so how you can control it? So here we have created a code. Here we have created a code that in one page we want 8 rows. So what we did, so you can see after 8 rows, the page number is changing. So till 8 row, the page number was 0. And again after 8 rows, the page number is 1. So after every 8th row, okay, the page number is getting incremented. We have written a code. You can do this thing directly in the Proc report as well, but we have written it separately, a code. Okay. Now, what you have done here, you have grouped the page number as well. Because if you want to break your page using this variable page number, because what you want to give, like break the page after every page, like after the page is changing. So let me show you. Break after PG variable page. So once the page number is changing, because let's suppose you have grouped your PG variable, so it is containing 1 time 0, 1 time 1, 1 time 2. So let's suppose whenever first time 0 or 1 or 2 will come, now it will change the page number. Okay, it's like this. So 0 is 8 times, so it's gonna keep 8 record in the page. Then 1 is 8 times, so it's gonna keep 8 record again. So same way in each of the pages, it's gonna keep it 8 records. So for that you have kept this PG variable also, because for breaking the page you have kept it. But there is a separate way as well, which you can, that is compute. Using compute also you can break the page. And you have grouped it this as well, so that this name should not repeat while internal processing. Like the first time 0 will come and then it will be grouped until the next one is coming. And no print, because you don't want this page number to be printed in the mock shell, right? You don't want this page number. This page number you are using for internal purpose, for breaking your pages, right? So I hope this is clear to you guys. And now this was about the report, guys. Finally, I think I have explained everything. And you can read these things I have mentioned, that what alignment you can do. Let's suppose you are giving padding bottom equal to 4, so adds 4 space below the text in the name column. So let's suppose if the text is here in that cell, it will give 4 of spaces, and the alignment you give, right, J equal to L, C or R, this J is nothing but just, okay, you can give it left aligned, C center aligned, R right aligned. Either you are giving in the title, either you are giving here as well in the style. And then what are the styles you can give? You can give font width, font size, font style, font face, okay. You can give it for title as well, you can give it for header as well, and column as well, okay. Title also you can control these things, height, font style and alignment for this header as well, and for this column as well. So I have given some note here as well, and top, middle, so V just vertical alignment, right? So vertical alignment also, because using just you are controlling left, right or center. So you are controlling the horizontal alignment using just, okay, or J. But V just enables you to control vertical alignment. You have given here, right? V just. So your text you want at the top, bottom or center. Okay. So here I have given some note using I have created. So this for my students so that they can understand easily. Because I do remember when I have explained this all together, na? I have explained this. I can show you the code earlier I have explained, that was this. So a lot of things are there, like style for separate each of the columns as well. Style for header and style for column. What I have done, I have grouped it here itself. I have made the changes all together. And like I have tried to explain here in different steps. So I hope you are able to understand up to some level. And guys, for sure, no matter whoever is creating this report, you always gonna face some small challenges. Let's suppose you want a text to be here and some things to be there, and you might try few things, but that won't happen. And that is not the case now, that is always the case. It's gonna always happen once you are a learner, okay. And sometimes this type of issue also we face, like in the log it might show you. Let me show you. In the log you can see this log is coming that ODS statement in SAS Studio environment may disable some output feature, that some of the outputs you might not get properly. Like for the same reason we have written this, right? So it is not like it's not gonna give you the outputs properly, but what SAS is doing in options, especially when you are mentioning these options, na, this orientation, paper type and a lot of things, what I'm finding that you have to run the changes in option statement will not be executed at the first attempt. So not only in the option, sometimes I have to, or most of the times I have to 2 times run the code to get the change in the SAS Studio. So no worries, if you are running your code 1 time, you are not getting the changes, run it for 2 times at least, so that you are ensured. So whenever I'm running it 2 times, I'm getting the change. If I'm making a change, if I'm running it 2 times, I'm getting the change, especially in the option statements, the changes you are mentioning here. And it can happen vice versa to others as well, other part of the proc report as well. So yeah, even you can give cell spacing. So cell spacing is also you can use in the header or column, and cell padding as well. So cell spacing is the space between each cell, and cell padding is the space within a cell. Let's suppose if this is a cell and your data is looking like this observation. So if you are giving cell padding more, so it can be your data can be more smaller. So these things you don't need, so I haven't kept it here in the code. but some of the explanation I have kept it here. And because I have some of the things, cell padding and cell spacing we haven't used, even though I have given the explanation here, because in the old code this was there, you can see. So it is not mentioned here. Let me show you. Yeah, here it was. Cell padding and cell spacing. But what I found, even if I'm giving cell width 100%, if I'm not giving the cell padding or cell spacing, how much space I want, obviously if I want more space between them, between my cells, I can increase it by giving this cell spacing and cell padding if I want, my data to be small or big. So all those things can be done. But I found without them as well, my report is coming properly, so I have kept it like this only. And yeah, this is how our final report is coming. Like some of the thing, let me rerun it. I found there are some errors. Let me rerun it finally. Okay, I haven't selected O. Okay, our titles are not coming. I can see here. All the titles are not coming. Let me check. Here it was coming. So first title is final version 1.0 is coming. Final version 1.0 is this one. Okay, the title names. You can see one mistake. All the title names is one only. So here you need to change it to title 2, title 3. Now all the titles should come. Yeah, all the titles are coming here as well. Let me re-download it. So now here all the titles are coming properly. Okay. So I have given the same title name, so it was rewriting the titles. Okay. So now you can see everything is coming fine. Here is your titles, here are your footnotes, and this is your data. And because you have kept your header part in bold, it's coming in bold. So guys, I hope you are clear with this Proc report which we have generated for medical history. And that's all for today guys. Thank you everyone, and bye bye everyone.